All right, here we are. Welcome, everybody. It is Tough Bumps, episode 13. Lucky 13. My name is Matt Connerton.
Not so lucky if you can't pronounce your name, Matt.
Would you believe I work in radio? My name is Matt Connerton,
You
and
work at a 100-watt station.
that's right. No, according to a certain podcaster in New York, I think it's a 10-watt station. It's like broadcasting through a walkie-talkie, but what does he know? No, truly, honestly, what does he know? And joining me, of course, Eric
Nothing.
Pilcher. Eric Pilcher, my partner in crime. What's that?
Nothing. He
Oh,
knows nothing.
he knows nothing. That is correct. That is correct.
Next, there is an amoeba out there that could out-intellect him.
Yes. He is currently, by the way, the individual we were speaking of trying to get a job at an FM station again, and he can't figure out why no one returns his calls.
I
Poor guy.
I thought with Howard getting canceled, he would be in on that.
He's
'Cause he
supposed to be
is
Howard Stern. Yes.
the next Howard Stern. I mean,
Yes.
and Howard, is rumored to be getting canceled. Like,
Yes.
however you want to look at that, or word that, or view that, or procure that. Haha, procure. We're cracking it up with the words today.
I hope. Careful now. Someone might procure the chicken wing onto you.
I being the Bret Hart man that I am, I will not tap to the chicken wing. You would have to convince my Aunt Cindy to throw in the towel.
I always
Hart.
I always think of that whenever I hear the word procure, because the best thing, I loved heel Bob Backlund. I loved it. And the best thing about it was the way he would misuse words like procure, because he was completely misusing the word every time he said it. You don't procure something onto something. Procure means to attain or obtain, not to you cannot procure a wrestling move onto your opponent, but he would say it all the time. It was so funny. And it was
You,
obvious. He knew he was using it wrong. It was part of the character, but it was so great.
you know what was so great about heel Bob Backlund?
Everything. But what?
Everything, but there is one minor thing. He would ask people, even when he was a face, to list the presidents of the United States before he gave them an autograph.
Yeah, I remember reading that somewhere. I wondered if that was true, like if that was actually true, or was that
And
kind of an urban legend?
I haven't read his autobiography, but I
Yeah.
guess in his autobiography, he admits to it because
Wow.
he feels that people need to be better educated.
Yeah. Well, he's
Um,
not wrong, but
but
my God.
could you imagine a kid meeting him in the 80s, like getting ready to meet their hero, get an autograph on a program, and he's like, list the presidents.
I have to assume, though, that if they at least tried, he would still give them the autograph. I cannot imagine, at least not babyface Bob Backlund. What I can't imagine he would say, "Oh, sorry, kid. You only knew a few of them. I can't give you an autograph." I mean, that
I
right?
I
May-
I I I
Maybe as a
don't
heel,
know.
he did that.
I haven't been a big enough I'm not diminishing him. I've not been a big enough Bob Backlund fan
Yeah,
to sit there and go through his history.
yeah,
And yeah, it's just one of those things.
yeah.
But man, uh in what in I mean his career's just so interesting.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You the guy that ended the reign and arguably the career of superstar Billy Graham,
Hmm.
because Billy Graham fell off after that. Then he dropped the title to the Iron Sheik, who dropped the title to Hulk Hogan, and then he just kind of fell off and really came into prominence when he had that infamous WrestleMania 9 match with Razor Ramon.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
infamous in a bad way. Like, it was a bad match.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, I still have not heard a logical reason why that match even happened.
Yeah, it was, it was that was unfortunate, but
Well, I guess Razor was injured and they had to cut time. I
yeah,
think those two things, I probably would have been like, okay, well, let's divvy it up to somewhere else.
Right. You seem distracted. Is it Rocky? Is he
Oh yeah, he's being a pain right now.
Oh, okay. Oh. Well.
Yeah, he's being something else. So
Uh-oh.
sorry.
Uh-oh. Perhaps he's not a fan of Mr. Backlund. But
No, he's not a fan of behaving.
well, speaking of not being a fan of people, our first subject on our list here, this guy, I didn't even know. Oh, there's Rocky. Aw,
Mm.
he's so cute. Our audio listeners won't know, but there's a very adorable dog, Rocky, that was just snuggling up with Eric. Very, very cute. Let me
He
grab.
is.
We've got this picture here of Joey Ryan I can put up
Oh dear, yes.
for people who don't. Oh, there he is. There he is in all his glory.
Oh,
Joey Ryan.
scumbag.
So Joey Ryan has never been in WWE, so a lot of people might not be familiar with him. But,
Developmental.
oh, he was in developmental. I didn't realize that. So
Briefly, but yes.
a lot of people who
Developmental.
the people who are familiar with him, and by the way, I don't think I've ever seen an entire Joey Ryan match myself, but he became, what was it, 5-6 years ago? He became pretty big on the independent scene, and he was in TNA at one point for.
Well, he became big through the show, the YouTube series Being the Elite.
Okay.
Um,
okay.
Because he was in Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
And the Young Bucks really used him in Being the Elite. They did a whole shtick where someone murdered Joey Ryan.
Okay.
And he I don't know a way to explain it about Joey Ryan. His shtick is he did the penis slam.
Yes.
Where someone would grab his penis and he would flip them.
Let me see if I can find a video of it for our video listeners. So hopefully we can, because it is really difficult to describe.
It's, I mean, and look, it's one of those things that there's certainly a fan base for it. There's a group of people that enjoyed it. I mean, he was one of the top selling t-shirts on Pro Wrestling Tees.
Yeah, I'm actually looking for a short video that it was also called the Dong Flip, apparently.
Yeah, yes, that is actually the name of it, Matt. Thank you.
The Dong Flip, okay.
The name escaped me, and he was really on an upward trajectory. But then the Me Too movement happened, and he got hammered with allegations.
Yeah.
And one of those things that a wrestler I was a very, very huge fan of, Marty Scurll, got hammered with it as well.
Sorry about that, Eric. I don't know if you could hear that. I didn't realize the volume was up on this. I didn't mean to. You might want to repeat that last sentence. I apologize.
Well, the Me Too movement really, it affected pro wrestling as well, and rightfully so. If you're a female and you even feel you're in a position where you felt like it was a sexual assault, please come forward. Be brave. There are people that care. There are people that want to help you. And I was a big fan of a wrestler that was a part of that. Me Too, Marty Scurll.
Yes.
The difference with Marty and Joey Ryan is Marty was accused of sex with a 16-year-old girl. In the UK. The difference is that's legal in the United Kingdom.
Wow. Okay.
Now she says it wasn't completely consensual, but I want to say this very carefully. Just because something makes you uncomfortable doesn't make it illegal.
Right.
You can disagree with it, certainly. And I personally don't abide by the age of consent law. I think that's just opens Pandora's box. If you're a 30 plus year old man and a 16-year-old girl says, "Yeah, let's have sex," I mean, you're head and shoulders above her in maturity, or at least you should be. You're intellectually you can take advantage of this young woman or young man in a variety of ways.
Yeah.
Physically, mentally, emotionally, it's icky. But because my point is because I disagree with it doesn't make it illegal.
Right.
Um Now Marty has found a niche competing in Puerto Rico. Joey Ryan was more severe.
Trying to upload that. I found a video, but I'm having trouble. For some reason, I can't add it. Just so our video listeners can see. Although I suppose they can always just go and find it themselves. But for some reason, I'm having a hard time. Well, let me try it this way.
Uh,
No, that's not going to work.
I mean, guys, it's nothing spectacular. It's someone grabbing a man's penis wearing Speedo like shorts and they get flipped.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and i- just this whole thing is in poor taste.
I can do it this way. Actually, I think I figured out. Yeah, here's a way I can do it. Just so people can see what this is. Yeah. So his opponent grabs his dick. And then Joey Ryan kind of turns and kind of flips him. I think I always thought it was kind of funny. I mean,
It's
obviously
it's
people like Jim Cornette hate it because it's the fakest thing in the world. But I thought it was funny when I first saw it. And like I said, I'm not overly familiar with the career of Joey Ryan, so
very much. I mean, uh, I I want to be cautious. Very sexualized. I mean,
yeah.
his theme music starts with "Who Wants a Mustache Ride."
Oh wow.
I mean, and you can look at him. He looks very Magnum PI-ish.
Yeah.
Very like he would rub baby oil on his chest before the match. Just very sexualized. And what a lot of people have said, or even gandered, is that psychologically, Joey took on that persona with females backstage,
Okay.
which, has happened to wrestlers. They can't separate the character from the man. They become one. And that's very scary when it happens.
So something about Joey Ryan too we should mention is that when the Me Too movement started and these allegations began to come out about him,
He sued him.
well, yeah, there's that, but there's also the number of women who came
Oh,
forward.
yeah.
It's approaching 40, I believe. Isn't it in the high 30s, the number of women
Yes.
who
Yep.
actually came out? And
And he
and I
sued
mean,
over 20 of them.
yeah, now I don't know much about the lawsuit. So he actually got a lawyer and went after these women for what?
Yes.
Defamation of character?
Defamation of character, loss of wages.
And how did these suits come out? I mean, did he succeed with any of these?
Um, I believe there were a couple settlements.
Okay, because 37, that's because there's always people who will say, oh, you can, I don't, you
Okay,
can't
a
always
majority
believe them, but
several
30,
of these lawsuits have been dismissed. Often, this is key in legal terms, without prejudice. That
okay,
means they can be refiled.
okay,
His lawsuit against Impact Wrestling for breach of contract is still open.
okay, huh,
Now, also of note, a lot of them were dismissed not based on merit. they were due to his legal team's failure to meet court deadlines.
Really? Okay. Well, that's interesting.
So, look, I mean, look, I'm a firm believer in the theory where there's smoke, there's fire.
Mhm.
Um, and I do want to say there have been guys backstage, quote unquote, friend of this show, Joey Janela, came out afterwards and spoke out against Joey Ryan.
Mhm.
My volley to that is, where were you when it was happening?
Right.
What'd you do when it was going on?
Yeah.
Like the same thing with Ric Flair and the stewardess on the plane ride from hell. Everyone, one person helped, and that was Dustin Rhodes.
Yeah.
You can sit here and claim whatever. I mean, and to be fair, most of the guys on that flight when that went down were so inebriated, they weren't going to do anything anyway. Um, that's not a defense, those are just facts.
Right.
So, uh e- all these people, all these male wrestlers coming out against Joey Ryan, and they're like, "Oh, I suspected, I saw some things." What'd you do?
Mm.
What'd you do when you saw it? What'd you do when it happened? You,
Right.
you know, you're it's the true visage of a coward to talk about it after the fact.
Oh, yeah.
You want to sit here and go after him, but funny, you took the payouts from the shows he was on.
Um, what refresh my memory, what is he accused of? I mean, because is it sexual harassment? Is it actual sexual assault? Do you know offhand what he's accused of? I mean, I assume with so many women coming out, I assume there's some variance in the accusations against him, but maybe not. Sometimes these things are very consistent.
Allegations of sexual misconduct.
Okay. So
Um,
that could be sexual assault. It could be, I mean, that
yeah,
probably
it's
is what it
it's
is.
it's very vague.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm sorry. It is very, very, very vague.
Yeah.
But right, I mean, rightfully so. Here's what it says online. In
Okay.
June 2020, a woman accused Meehan of sexual misconduct. After the initial accusation surfaced, Meehan posted a message on his Twitter account apologizing for the possibility of invading anyone's personal space. After that message was posted, a number of women posted on Twitter allegations of misconduct and unwanted sexual advances. Though no investigations have ever taken place, wrestlers Joey Janela and Ryan Nemeth, former roommate of Meehan, who previously worked for Meehan at Bar Wrestling, have spoken against him.
Hmm.
So, yeah, he has denied at nearly every accusation made against him, showing messages between himself and the women, which he says shows evidence to dispute the claims made.
Hmm. Well, again, like I said, I think it's something like 37 women have come forward. So that's pretty damning. Oh, so he was just recently the reason. Did we talk about the reason this has all come up?
No, Portland Wrestling. I mean, there have been several attempts at Joey Ryan returning.
I didn't know
One of the
that. See, I thought this was the first attempt after all this
no,
time.
there was one where he was going to be on a show with several AEW contracted talents, and Tony Khan said if Joey Ryan was on the show, he would pull all the AEW talent.
That's right. I forgot about that. I forgot about that.
So kudos to Tony Khan for taking a stand there.
Yeah.
But basically, Portland Wrestling was going to make a return um now basically they canceled his flight.
Yeah.
Um and there it was a for charity show. The event was being billed as a night of safe space pro wrestling action with a pay what you want ticket model where all profits would be donated to charity.
Interesting. And the promoters had no. They actually called it a safe space, whatever, and while booking Joey Ryan on the show. That's fascinating. Wow.
Very.
Yeah. Well, lesson learned.
Um
I hope.
Yeah, the show
Jesus.
is heavily rumored to be canceled. The person behind the revival of pro wrestling, this is from SEScoops.com. They placed the blame on another local promotion, Prestige Wrestling, for allegedly threatening to blackball any talent or crew that worked the show. The promoter said we currently do not have a ring for a show taking place in less than 3 weeks.
Mm, yeah.
Oh, correction. Prestige Wrestling announced a counter show for the same night, August 23rd in Portland, with the event is being billed as a night of safe space pro wrestling action with the pay what you want model where all profits will be donated to charity. It's counter programming, not the actual Portland wrestling that is doing that.
Okay. That's interesting. Well, yep, Joey Ryan. So he's been canceled. Dan, by the way, so I know you're not a fan, but I saw a clip of the Stevie Richards podcast where he was talking about it, his very limited experience with Joey Ryan. But I guess Joey Ryan tried to get Stevie Richards to work a show once that he was putting on and didn't want to pay
Well,
him and
he
told
ran
him,
a promotion, Bar Wrestling.
yeah,
I mean, and the promotion was actually doing considerably well for an indie
okay,
until this happened, and then their primary building said, "Nah, you can't run here anymore." And
yeah,
if you're an indie promotion, when you lose your primary building, game over.
yeah, it hurts, yeah, because then
Yeah, I mean,
you got to find
there's
another,
no
yeah, you got to find another building or you're done,
and hope the fans you've cultivated at that original building travel to the new building. You
right?
being in the music business, Matt, I'm sure you
Oh yeah,
understand home arena and
sure,
everything like that.
sure,
Like it would be a death blow if Motley Crue couldn't sell out the Whiskey a Go Go.
hmm,
You know, yeah. Joey, Joey was even fired from his job at Disneyland.
Oh, tell me about that again. Refresh my memory, because this is
I
sort of
mean,
familiar, but I can't remember exactly.
he got a job being a SAG AFTA union actor as an extra at Disneyland, and they fired him after his probationary period.
Wow.
Um, Probably due to this.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm.
but he had been working at Disneyland for 3 months on a probationary period. A Disneyland spokesperson confirmed to the news outlet, the LA Times, that Ryan is no longer working for them. They did not comment on whether or not the accusations played a role in Ryan being fired.
Well, for all we know, probably not. This is just wild speculation, but for all we know, he could have engaged in some sort of misconduct there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and not outside the realm.
Yeah.
Although he has claimed that I mean, ever since these allegations in 2020, he has said that he has went back to his childhood church and completed a 12-step program.
But doesn't he also deny
Yes, he
everything?
denies all the
So he
allegations.
denies all the allegations, but he went back to his childhood church and completed a 12-step program.
Yes.
Oh, sounds credible.
Disneyland happened back in June 2022, by the way.
Yeah.
Just so we can get a rough timeline here as to what's going on.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's hard not to believe a guy who looks like this, but I'm not sure I believe him. But anyway,
As a baptized Christian, I can say that only one, we're not the being that judges.
mhm.
I hope he's genuine, because when his day of judgment comes, if he's not, Joey's gonna be in a place where those chest hairs are gonna get a little singed.
Right. Do you think you keep your chest hair in the afterlife?
I think where Joey's going, if he's lying, it's gonna be burnt off.
My goodness. Oh, and it's gonna smell terrible too. Burnt hair just smells terrible.
Oh yeah, especially with that baby oil he puts on it.
Oh yeah, highly flammable, I would imagine.
I don't think he's gonna be able to offer the demons of hell a mustache ride.
Right. Right. Oh well. All
I
right.
don't think that's gonna be a fair trade-off.
Well, shall we on that note, anything to add on that, or should we move on to another one of your favorite
Uh,
people?
Fuck Joey Ryan.
Fuck Joey
I,
Ryan. All right.
that's how we'll sum it up.
Okay.
Fuck Joey Ryan.
Okay. All right then. Well, we've got another individual to speak about, and he was more. Look at that! Look at that! That's a face a mother could love.
Why?
Um,
Why do you do this to me?
so this is kind of old news, but we're a little bit behind, and I have something to say about this, and I suspect you might as well. Uh, Bill Goldberg, will out of respect for Bret the Hitman Hart, we'll call him Bill Goldberg instead of Goldberg, because you remember that wonderful promo that
Yes.
Bret did where he repeatedly calls him Bill Goldberg, and it's great. So Goldberg wrestled his final match, his career-ending match on Saturday night's main event against Gunther. Now, I want to talk about the match first, because I know you despise Goldberg. I do not. I do not share your hatred of him.
I don't hate him.
I'm sorry. Intense. You have an intense, seething loathing for him. Would that be more accurate?
No, I mean,
Okay.
it's not even a loathing. It's just like, look, I'm gonna let you talk about this story, and then
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna say my piece,
Okay.
because I think that's the best course of action here.
Okay. All right. So you want me to go ahead? Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about the match first. I thought the match exceeded expectations.
Well, when
Because,
the expectations are 10 pounds of monkey shit in a Ziploc baggie, pretty easy to do,
well, listen, they went 14 minutes, which is a
because
long
they
time.
had to.
Right, but that's a long time for Goldberg. And 14
It's a
minutes
long
at
time. It's a long time for a virgin on prom night. Are we going to give him accolades too?
well, that is though. That's a long time for a Goldberg match. That's a long time. So that's a long time for Goldberg. And at 58 years old, that's an even longer time for Goldberg. But I thought they had a pretty good match. I thought it was good. But this leads into what I'm disappointed with about Goldberg in a moment. And you probably know where I'm going with this. I thought the match was good. I thought Gunther did a great job. You know, obviously Gunther had to carry him, but Gunther is one of those guys. He can go out there and have a great match with anybody. You know, you're never going to see.
Obviously.
Yeah, I mean, Gunther is amazing. So he was the right guy to do this, right, with Goldberg. Gunther carried him to a great match. I really liked it. I thought it was excellent. The perfect way to go out. I thought everything was great about it. I really did. And then Goldberg does the thing in the ring. Jenny and I, by the way, thought it was very interesting that when Goldberg was making his comments, he kind of kayfabe. He apologizes to Atlanta, his hometown for losing. But he also went out of his way to talk about how everyone should be treated with respect, and he really drove that point home. And Jenny and I just both thought that was interesting in a very good way, in a positive way. But and he even went back to it later in his speech, but his speech kind of got cut off, so we had to watch the rest of it on YouTube. But I do think I'll give Goldberg credit for this. He didn't just make it all about himself. he talked about treating people with respect. He gave credit to the people who
Not
were
kicking
in the
him in
ring
the
with him.
head.
What's that?
Not kicking him in the head, not
Right.
throwing
Well,
him under
yes,
the bus for your own shortcomings,
yes, I
and then
understand.
not botching spots, not intentionally hurting people, not
But
intentionally hurting yourself when you're about to start a major run
point
that could save a promotion.
points
I'm
taken.
sorry. Go ahead.
Points
Go,
taken. I
go ahead.
understand. I
I'll
understand.
let you. I'll let you kiss his roided out, overrated ass.
Well,
Please.
I did like, so I liked the match and I did like what he had to say afterward. I thought that was really good. Oh, and I thought it was cool as hell that when he did his old school entrance where they go to the door and they knock on the door and he comes out and they escort him to the ring, I immediately recognized Doug Dillinger and I was like, you got to be kidding. That's such a throwback to his
I'm surprised
WCW
he didn't
days.
give himself a concussion.
Yes, I know, but I thought that was really cool that Doug Dillinger was one of the guys.
Well, I mean, Doug's a very busy guy. Head supervisor of a mall somewhere in Sheboygan, Wisconsin, or wherever the hell he's at.
Sure. Well, I'm sure he's retired, but anyway, I thought that was cool. I thought that was a really nice touch. Um, and then so I thought the match was good. I liked his comments after, but they did get cut off on NBC. So if you wanted to see the rest of his comments, because it was a live show and they were up against the hour, you had to go on YouTube and to see the rest of his comments, which was fine. Here's what I'm disappointed with Goldberg, who I thought went out on as much of a high note as could possibly be expected, which again, I thought it was a great match.
Way more than he deserves.
I liked his speech. I really liked his speech afterward. But then he's going around and complaining about being cut off on the NBC live feed and talking about how he thinks it might have been a rib. They might have done it to him on purpose because you wouldn't do that to the Undertaker, right? But in reality, they actually would have if they had to. If they were live on NBC and you've got a hard out, they actually would have. They would have hated to do it, but they would have done that to the Undertaker if they had to. If it were that. So anyway, the point is, he goes out on such a high note, or so it seems. But then he's going on Ariel Helwani and these other places and just bitching and just complaining about how his speech got cut off and he's so disappointed and he thinks it might have been done to him on purpose. And it's like, dude, why? What is wrong with you? You went out the best possible way. You should be happy with it. He should be thrilled. And instead he's going around complaining. And it was that disappointed me. And I don't understand. I don't understand why do that. Anyway, that's my whole thing. Go ahead, sir. You because I know what you want to say. There's those 4 words that you're dying to say. I know what they are. For our audio listeners, Eric is taking a big sip of his drink as we wait. As we wait.
Yes. I told you all so.
Yes, you did.
I told you all. We did an episode dedicated to this wrestling bag of monkey shit. In this episode, I told you everything wrong with him. I told you he had an inflated ego. I said he thought he was better than what he was. How dare he compare himself to The Undertaker? Oh, wait, you almost ended The Undertaker's life. So, I mean, yeah, we forgot about that. Look, Bill Goldberg's ego will always be the worst part of Bill Goldberg. And you can sit here and say, well, you could say the same about Ric Flair. You can say the same about Hulk Hogan. You could say the same about any great wrestler, but Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels. But the difference is Goldberg never respected this business. How do we expect this man to respect his retirement match when he never learned respect for the business in the first damn place. He never worked to improve his craft. He never worked to do better. You know, most wrestlers, if you went out there and had a shit match with a wrestling machine like William Regal, you would be humbled and go into the gym and be like, I gotta learn. Not Bill Goldberg. Bill blamed William Regal. He blamed Kevin Sullivan, Terry Taylor. I'm shocked he hasn't blamed Jericho's personal security guy, Ralphus.
Oh, Ralphus. I used to love Ralphus.
Because somehow it's got to be Ralphus's fault that the match went haywire. No, Bill, it's your fault. It's your fault, Bill. It's your fault Bret Hart's career ended early. Bill, that is the summary of your career. It's your fault.
Oh, all right. Well, shall we move on?
I was right. When are you people going to learn that on these things, on complete and utter assholes, because I am one, we know our own. I am right. I know an asshole when I see it because I am an asshole myself.
I don't agree with that.
I will fully take full accountability of that. I could be the biggest asshole on God's green earth. I know my own. And Bill Goldberg makes me look like a saint in the asshole realm.
Oh my.
Yeah, like no. And you know, his whole thing, he took pot shots at Gunther in his interview with Ariel Helwani.
Let's address that, because that's another thing that bothered me. You're right, because he said, this is what I got from that, because he did say at one point he acknowledged that Gunther was a good person to be in the ring with. And he did express respect for him. It was either in that conversation or another conversation. But what he did say in the Ariel Helwani interview that bothered me was he talked about the spot. And by the way, I liked this spot. This was a big part of what I thought was good about the match.
I didn't.
I liked it. When Gunther chopped him, because Gunther is known for those hard chops, right? When Gunther chopped Goldberg, and Goldberg just kind of stood there and smiled and sort of laughed, I thought that was good, because to me, that was like classic Goldberg. That was so much like anyone else I wouldn't have thought should get away with that. But to me, it actually made sense for Goldberg to do that.
I thought it makes sense.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a problem with it within that match. My problem came after the match in Goldberg burying the chops.
Well, right. Burying not burying Gunther, but burying the chops specifically, because what he said on Ariel Helwani was that he didn't plan to laugh, that was unintentional. And the reason, but the weird thing is too, what Goldberg was saying, in a sense, he was actually complimenting Gunther, even if he didn't mean it that way, if that makes sense. Because what Goldberg said was the chops end up being, it's a worked chop, and the chop ended up being so soft that he barely felt it. And that's what made him laugh, because he was expecting it to hurt. Now, that's actually a compliment to Gunther, really, because that means that Gunther's chop is very safe, that it's not going to hurt you, even though it looks incredibly painful. But I don't know how you work that chop, but apparently you can. So in a sense, he's giving credit to Gunther, but why would he even say that though? Like, why give away that it didn't really hurt and that it was fake, and he was laughing because he was surprised at how well worked it was? That, like, why ruin the spot? That was like one of the highlights. That was really the highlight of the match, I thought.
I think the big thing here is, and we'll get into this when we recap SummerSlam more, but the chop was a big part of the match he had with CM Punk. And when a guy like Goldberg says that, it diminishes that.
That's a good point.
In all future matches. So good work, Bill. you ruined the work. Good work. You took away a prime move of Gunther's arsenal because now there is that you can't suspend disbelief. A
Yeah.
58-year-old man just buried Gunther's chops.
Yeah. And why do that? So that's an example of him, because I don't think he intentionally was trying to disrespect Gunther.
Oh,
I
he
don't think
was.
he was. No, I don't think he was. I think he was, but I think he's not. I think after all these years, he's still just not smart to the business in some ways.
Oh, once again, Eric is right. He doesn't respect the business.
Well, yeah.
Thank God he's gone. Thank God he's gone. You know what? I hope he does another retirement match for AEW. I hope it's with someone like Will Ospreay, and Will Ospreay just spikes him with a Tiger Driver.
Right.
For the love of God. What a fucking chode.
Yeah.
Eric was right. That's all we need to take away from this.
How does Gunther work? I mean, like, how do you work that chop?
You don't.
I just assumed it legitimately hurts, but Goldberg
does legitimately
otherwise.
hurt. There's no way it didn't legitimately hurt.
Because I just put up a picture for those watching online. If you're actually watching the video of the show, I just put up a picture of, you can see the handprint of Gunther's hand going into Goldberg's chest, and Goldberg just smiling.
Like, there's no way.
How do you do that? Yeah.
There's no way it didn't hurt. You look at Punk's chest after SummerSlam.
Yeah.
You look at when he had the match with Ilya Dragunov in NXT.
Yeah.
You look at guys that have had welts bust open due to Gunther's chops.
Yeah.
I mean, no. Bill once again shows his fundamental misunderstanding of this business.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in Bill will tell you, oh, everyone knows it's a work. They do, Bill. That's the magic of wrestling, though, is that even if they know it's a work, they could still suspend that disbelief. And you took it away from Gunther.
Yeah. All right. Shall we
fucking moron.
Shall we move on?
Please.
Okay. Let's talk about so as we prepare to move into the SummerSlam discussion, we have this gentleman. Some would call him the greatest of all time. Well, at least the ring announcer says that every time he's introduced to the ring. John Cena, who made going into SummerSlam at the last minute, made a what I felt was a very abrupt babyface turn, which most people seem to be happy about. But I have some complicated feelings about this. And I don't know what you think, Eric. And I intentionally, I think this was the thing we were talking about before the show. I intentionally did not want to know what you think of this because I want to be surprised. And you might be surprised by some of what I have to say. I don't know. But when that babyface turn happened in that promo, I was perhaps one of the few people, because online among podcasters and everything, the reaction seemed to be, oh, thank God. The heel run has been a flop, and this is the Cena we want. We just want him to be babyface again. Thank God. And now he's turned and all is right with the world again, and that's good. That was not my reaction. I wasn't upset at his sudden babyface turn. I was more intrigued than upset, but there's a big difference between how I was viewing and taking in his heel run. I think contrasting with probably almost everyone else except you. I think you agreed with me on this. I was really enjoying heel John Cena, but my perception is that most people online, both podcasters who are in the business or who have been in the business and also outsiders in the IWC, most people seem to feel that, this is my impression, most people weren't getting what they wanted out of it because they wanted Cena to be more evil and over the top dastardly and everything. Whereas that's not how Cena played it. Cena underplayed this version of John Cena. He kind of underplayed it and was low key with it, which I actually liked. I thought it was cool. I thought it was really interesting. I really liked this version of John Cena, and I was really enjoying heel John Cena. So part of me was kind of bummed. Don't get me wrong. The face turn when he did it and he's in the ring with Cody, he sold it well. The crowd was into it. You know, he's a great talker anyway. But part of me was like, that's the end of heel John Cena, because I was actually enjoying it. I had some criticisms of it. There were some things I would have done differently, but overall, I was really enjoying it. And by the way, to everyone who says it was a mistake to turn him to begin with, even if you didn't like how heel John Cena was presented as a character, if they'd never done it, we would have been deprived of what was in my opinion, one of the coolest moments ever in wrestling. The moment that John Cena actually did the turn and the attention to detail with, he's hugging Cody, but then his face changes when The Rock does the signal. And I thought that was so great. One of the greatest turns ever. We would have lost out on that if they hadn't done it. So that's my feeling on the turn itself. I'm curious what you think.
I think the turn is a big case of what if.
Mm-hmm.
Look, John Cena did what John Cena does. He tried to make the best out of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is you had a catalyst for the heel turn.
Right.
That catalyst never came back into the picture.
The Rock.
So, yes. So you have a rudderless heel.
Well, that's one of the things I would have adjusted.
Well,
because that could have been been explained, but
no, I disagree, because once you make The Rock the catalyst, The Rock has to be present. Not like every week or even like every big event, but like for the bigger events, The Rock has to be present. You can't do that without some presence of The Rock. And I'm sorry, Travis Scott getting involved at WrestleMania didn't do it.
Right.
So look, John Cena did an admirable job with this.
Yeah.
And he really showed why he is one of the greatest of all time, because he really put maximum effort into it. But at the end of the day, it was the right call to turn him back when they did. And the one thing I liked about turning him is they debunked that they had to do the double turn. They had to turn Cody heel, which I said they didn't have to do. Once again, Eric was right.
I can't help but wonder, though, would it have made more sense? Maybe. I'm not saying this is how they should have done it, but it might it have made more sense if they'd waited, go into SummerSlam, leave it the way it was, do the match, Cody goes over clean, and then after the match, Cena congratulates, instead of attacking him or being a jerk, congratulates him, and then the next night on Raw, Cena comes out and is full babyface. Would that have made more sense? Maybe it just felt a little too abrupt.
I think they did it the way they did it because they knew the reaction he was going to get at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
They didn't want the rails to come off on the show. And so they're like, let's just do it at SmackDown. I agree with you. Doing it the night after on Raw would have been better. Yeah. But given what happened at the end of SummerSlam, it would have made no sense to do it the next night on Raw or the following SmackDown, because you want to go in that direction that they went in. You want all the focus to be on what's next, not what happened.
Yeah. No, I get you. One criticism I have of Cena's promo, I do wish when he turned full babyface, I wish that maybe there had been a little bit more just a little bit more of an explanation from him. I'm nitpicking, but again, just just like maybe a line in there about how I was so desperate. I like that. I like the line about, I was abandoned. Somebody talked me into this and I was abandoned, but I didn't like the part where he said somebody talked me into this because it would make shocking television, basically saying I never really felt that way and I was just faking the whole time. I think it would have been better if maybe he'd said, I was so desperate to win number 17 that I allowed my desperation to accomplish that goal to overwhelm me and to act and to behave in ways that are not
I would have
normal
liked
for me.
that.
Yeah,
I would
that
have
would have been
liked
a little
that.
more nuanced, I think a little more satisfying than just somebody, and it was obvious he was referring to The Rock, but just, somebody talked me into just trying to make shocking television. And I realized I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? I thought that was a little overall, I thought the promo was very good. Again, he sold it well and the crowd was hugely into it. But I would have tweaked it. Again, little overall, I enjoyed Cena's run as a heel. Just certain little things I would have tweaked
I
along the
did.
way. That's
I
all.
did as well. I think he did the best with what he had.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, on that, should we move on to SummerSlam?
Yes.
Um, we can go through. Well, should we start with overall impressions and then maybe talk about some of the matches?
Yeah, we can do that.
I thought it
Because
was really good.
I thought I thought it was a lot like WrestleMania. I thought night 1 was demonstratively better than night 2. And if WWE is going to continue doing these PLEs, the big ones, as 2-night events, they need to figure out a way to even them out a lot better.
Um, what do you mean? Expand on that.
Well, I mean, you had so many great matches night 1, and then night 2 kind of felt like a dud.
Yeah, I don't remember feeling that way myself. I think I thought the whole thing was so good that I didn't really feel like any of it was a dud
I
for
thought
me. I got to
I thought like I loved night 2. I only really liked 2 matches.
really.
Dominic and AJ
Oh, that was good. Yeah.
and Cena Rhodes. The other matches I was like, I thought the 16 TLC match was overworked, overbooked. I thought there was some very dangerous spots that were flubbed up that could have caused severe injuries.
Mm,
And I was just like, why? I thought the triple threat match was good, the women's, but I thought it went too long.
mm.
Um, ew, then the women's tag was good, but again, it was one of those things that you had 3 title matches to start the show.
Yeah.
And that's just never I would have started with TLC.
Yeah.
And then I probably would have done Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross.
Hmm.
Then I probably would have done the women's tag. Then I would have had going into the main event, I would have had the women's triple threat, Dom and AJ, Cena Rhodes. That
Hmm.
would have been how I wrapped up the show. I just think the pacing of night 2 was a detriment and it caused burnout.
I yeah, I liked both nights a lot. The only thing, and I did pull up the listing. Actually, I've got it on Wikipedia here, so we can just kind of go through it too, and we don't have to spend a ton of time doing that. But some of these matches we might want to talk about. But the only thing that I remember really feeling was kind of dragging was the U.S. title match between Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu.
Well, they're
I
both the problem is in this isn't knocking them. They're so
Yeah.
limited in the ring.
Yeah, and
To
Jacob
put
is
them
fun.
Jacob is fun, but to put them in a cage,
Yeah. I was kind of
uh,
bored with it.
yeah, I think if armchair booking, hindsight being 2020, I would have put Cena and Rhodes in the cage and
Mm.
had Solo and Jacob be the street fight.
Yeah, that would have made sense. Although I did really enjoy much more than I expected to. By the way, but we'll get there. The Rhodes versus Cena match that ended up
They
being
they
pretty
did an
good.
amazing job
They did.
with for two guys that don't do a lot of street fights.
Yeah, and one of them is 48 years old.
Yes,
And they
I did have a complaint. I think they milked the finishers
we'll
way
get
too
there.
much.
Yeah.
I think if you take a super AA from the top and then kick out and then you immediately hit a crossroads, you're just doing high spot after high spot after high spot, and it diminishes your finisher.
Yeah. Well, let's go through them. Shall we? We'll start with night one. So the opener was Roman Reigns and Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed,
I
and
thought that was a great match.
I thought it was cool too. You know what I really liked was the spot they did where Jey Uso, he does the run it back on his theme music, and they actually did that during the match. And Roman kind of joined him in making that, because Roman kind of acts like he's, it's his character. He acts like he's sort of too cool for school with a lot of stuff, but he actually did the motion too to run it back, and they actually started playing Jey Uso's music during the match, and
Yeah,
then Roman gets attacked, and I thought that was a great spot, very entertaining.
I thought that match was really good, and it did a good job of building up Braun Breaker
Mm-hmm.
and Bronson Reed.
Yeah. Yep.
And I think I saw some complaints that the right team didn't win. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's false. I think the right team did win, especially with what happened to end the show.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Agreed. Um, Then after that, we had Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez defending the women's tag team championship against Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. I thought it was a good match. I liked it.
I passable. I
Yeah,
think it was as good as it could have been. Um
I think Roxanne
I,
Perez is incredible.
Roxanne Perez is incredible. I think the problem is you have two teams that are still trying to find their footing as
Hmm.
being cohesive units in the ring, and it caused there were some bungled spots in that match, and it's not the fault of any of them. It's you don't know the pace your partner is working at.
Well, it almost doesn't matter though, in a way, because the way I look at it is you've got two teams that are both. I mean, that can be part of the story, right? Because
I mean there's
Roxanne is filling
times
in
that
for Liv, and Charlotte and Alexa aren't, are kind of trying to find their way as a team. So it kind of works into the story, I think.
I agree to a point, but there are times when you can tell they're doing it for story and times where you're like they missed the spot.
Yeah,
And that's a detriment. But again, not I think all four women did an excellent job with the hand that they're served. And I
yeah.
really like this we're not friends, but we're friends thing that Charlotte and Alexa have going on. I have a newfound respect for Charlotte Flair.
Me too, and so does the audience. You can tell.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
interesting.
I
They,
think
they
if
found a way to
there's
make her
someone
likable.
well, the Unreal series
That helped
has
too.
made her
Yep,
likable.
yep. It
And
humanizes her. Yep.
yeah, and her attitude behind the scenes
Hmm.
is really good. And you're like, wow, I did not expect that.
Yeah.
And I think in this team she has with Alexa, she's conceded some things to Alexa. And I think that's really good as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I do too. Let's see. From there, we had Sami Zayn versus Karrion Cross. And this, I think, this match, I didn't think it was anything special. I think it was more interesting just because of all the intrigue and speculation regarding Karrion Kross and his contract, and of course,
Well,
and his
they've
wife.
been moved to the alumni page now.
Yeah.
So there you go. Look, it was what it was.
Yeah. Thing about Karrion Kross is he's nothing special in the ring, but damn, that guy, he's got star power, I think. And he's also too, I will just say this, if you've ever watched him in an interview, in a podcast interview or anything, he's enormously likable and just an interesting guy.
I don't think he becomes a star in WWE.
Maybe not, if he hasn't by now.
I think he could become a star in AEW or New Japan.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's in the cards in WWE because I don't think they know how to book him.
Apparently not. No, they haven't figured it out by now. And I think it's too bad. I think there's a missed opportunity there. I really do.
There is.
Then we had Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill for the women's championship match. Did you like it?
I like the fact that Jade Cargill was exposed. And look, there are just wrestling needs mid-carders as well. And Jade showed in that match that she's not a top-tier talent. I'm sorry, it just doesn't work. And she might be better suited for US champion, intercontinental champion tier.
So I'm going to disagree a bit. And I realize, boy, I'm really on an island by myself when I say this, because what you said, I would say is the opinion of the larger IWC. Like, everyone dumps on Jade Cargill. I think she's better than she gets credit for. I think that she needs to be directed toward maybe just doing more of the big power moves and not, just keeping it really simple. But I think she's more effective.
But when
she gets credit for. I really do.
When you're in that top tier and you work people like Tiffany Stratton, Bayley, Becky Lynch, technically sound wrestlers, you can't just do power moves. You have to be able to pull a hold. You have to be able to do some form of chain wrestling.
Yeah.
She can't. And the problem is Tiffany Stratton, as good as she is, still green. And you have to be careful with who you put her with. Is she a star? Yes. Is she top tier? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But she is still green, and you can't put her with limited people because you're going to get her hurt.
Yeah.
And that was my fear. And Jade came very close to hurting her on a couple of occasions. And look, I don't know how you solve the Jade Cargill problem. I think you write her off TV for a while and have her work down in NXT behind the scenes for like 3 to 4 months. I thought that's what they were doing when they wrote her off due to the injury, and then lo and behold, she really had an injury.
Yeah.
These were problems in AEW.
Yeah. I think she's better than she gets credit for. I'll just say that. I don't disagree with anything you said. I just think she's better than she gets credit for. That's all. Maybe not much better, but I think she's better than she gets credit for. Let's see. So the next match. Oh yes. Jelly Roll and Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul.
Next.
I thought this was very good.
No, this was, look, not all celebrities can be Lawrence Taylor and go out and do a great job. Jelly Roll can't work. Like, there is fundamental.
I thought he did fine.
You're too nice. There is fundamental things you have to do. And my personal dislike of the man aside.
Yeah. I don't know enough about him to have an opinion. I mean, obviously he's a big country star. I don't know enough about him to dislike him or like him necessarily.
As a diabetic, I dislike him.
Oh, that's right. I remember why now. I totally forgot about that. The Ozempic thing. I totally
Him
forgot
and
about that.
Post Malone,
Yeah.
you know what? They can both go to hell.
Okay. I totally forgot about that.
Um, look, I get you got to have these celebrity matches.
Yeah.
But man, Logan and Drew both tried so hard and just
He took that big bump on that table. You got to respect that, dude. That
I
bump he took?
and then he hammed it up for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
When everyone knew he was going to go back to the ring.
Well, I know it was obvious, but so what? I mean, I don't know. He's a celebrity. I don't expect him to be good in the ring. I expect him to just try to survive.
When
He's a
I hear
celebrity.
the guy is working with the Undertaker and
Yeah.
Shawn, I expect you to be able to work at least enough to get through a tag match with 3 wrestling machines.
I thought he did fine. But I'm not even thinking about his performance nearly as much as I'm just thinking about the match as a whole. And by the way, I think Logan Paul is one of the best heels we've seen in a long time. He is so good. And of course, Drew McIntyre is a great heel. Randy Orton, I think this is the best babyface run that he's been on these last couple of years. I thought they put on a good match, and I thought Jelly Roll was fine. At least they didn't have him go over, because that's a mistake they make when they bring in celebrities, and then the celebrities win, and then it's like, oh,
Matt,
yes,
there's a comment I would like to address.
okay,
That I received on my Facebook post on Jelly Roll from a friend of the show, Charles Richardson.
oh, we
And
love Charles, yes,
yes, I have no ill will towards Charles. He said, just to clarify, taking Ozempic isn't a magic drug. If you still eat like a pig and not make lifestyle changes, it won't work. So yes, granted the drug was a crutch, but still Jelly Puff still had to put in work to make that happen. Look, here's the thing.
There's a little more to this. Your anger at Jelly Roll. There's more to the story as far as the Ozempic. Charles might not know the full context.
No, he commented on the post where I put the full context.
Oh, okay, I didn't realize. Okay.
But there's no ill will. I want to really make that clear. Look, people like Post Malone and Jelly Roll and even common American folk took a drug from people that need it to live.
Mm-hmm.
I was told by 10 different pharmacies I could not get Trulicity, a drug I need as a type 2 diabetic.
Yeah.
And Charles is absolutely, unequivocally, 100% right. If I don't eat right, it doesn't matter what I put into my body. I'm going to feel it.
Yeah.
The problem is that the GLP-1s, like Ozempic and Trulicity and Mounjaro, a side effect of them is drastic and sudden weight loss.
Mm-hmm.
And people are using that side effect to lose weight.
Yeah.
Doctors are to blame as well because they're prescribing it to patients to push them through for bariatric surgery.
Yeah.
So they lose the weight quicker. What do they learn from that? Nothing. Hold on, Matt.
Uh-oh. Rocky's at it again.
Get out of the kitchen.
Uh-oh.
So, yeah, it's really.
And they end up with Ozempic face.
Like, I was without Trulicity for 5 months due to the shortage. I was able to survive without it, but there are elderly people that can't survive without it.
Right.
Young children that can't survive without it. I have a family member who takes Monjourno because of weight, but they have a glandular disorder. They have a very bad thyroid disorder.
Yeah.
So that's what GLP-1s are used for.
Okay.
Thyroid, glandular disorders and diabetics.
Yeah.
It's not used for you to lose weight.
Right.
And if you're someone using it, I'm sorry. For that reason alone, I do not like you.
Well, to clarify though, because if you're taking it away from, because there was a point, right, where there was a shortage, right? There was a shortage of Ozempic, and these celebrities bought up all the
No!
Ozempic, basically,
True
right?
Ozempic, Trulicity, and Monjourno. The 3
Okay.
big ones were all had shortages.
Okay. How do you feel
And
about?
and the doctors are to blame as well
Yeah.
because they prescribe it.
Now, how do you feel about the Queensryche song, "Silent Trulicity"?
Never been a Queen Psych fan.
Queensryche.
Whatever. Never been a fan.
All right. Well, hopefully
Um,
Charles will see or hear this, and he might be watching
yeah.
right now.
Again, I love that Charles contributed.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
His comment is accurate. I mean, eventually, yeah, that weight loss aspect of the side effects wear off because
Yeah.
your body gets into that therapeutic range where
Yeah.
it's no longer a side effect. And if you eat like garbage, you're going to put the weight back on and you're going to be in even worse shape than you were before.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So yeah, and Charles is 1,000,000% correct
Yeah.
in his assertion.
Okay.
So I'll give full credit to him. And
Yeah.
also Jelly Roll sold phony autographs on his website.
Okay. Did not know that.
Yeah, he sold autographed CDs that were auto penned and
Oh,
didn't
okay.
make it right for his fans.
Yeah, that's shitty.
That is very Gene Simmons of him.
Oh my good. How dare you? How dare you, sir? Okay.
Well, we better move on. This show's gonna blow up and go off the rails.
Kiss is my favorite band for anyone who doesn't know.
Real quick.
All right, let's get to the main event. I mean, it's good when we argue about stuff, but we should argue about wrestling because it's tough bumps. Gunther defending against CM Punk. Now, obviously, we'll get to what happened after, but the match itself, I thought, was really good.
Match of the year. The best pro wrestling match of 2025. And I'm going to go even further on this. CM Punk is professional wrestling's MVP of 2025.
Yeah.
You look at anyone's top 5, top 10 matches, 3 or 4 of them have to be CM Punk matches.
Now, I don't know if you know this, but and this is one of those cases where, you know, opinions will vary. You and I agree on this one, but you know who hated this match? Brian Alvarez. And of course, anyone who's a fan of wrestling podcasts is probably familiar with Brian Alvarez. He said, this is what he said, and then someone else came and countered this. He said that he felt this match was atrocious. He actually used that word atrocious. And his big complaint was that CM Punk was blown up by the end of it. And for anyone who doesn't know, or actually partway through it, and for anyone who doesn't know, blown up just means it's another way of saying out of breath, out of gas, you know? So that was his complaint. So he's complaining about CM Punk and he thought the match was atrocious. He actually used that word. Now, someone who I know you don't like, but Stevie Richards said,
I don't know. You're throwing around that I dislike Stevie Richards. I don't dislike Stevie
oh, I
Richards.
thought you disliked Stevie Richards.
No,
It's better for clicks if you say you dislike him.
his voice annoys me.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Like, I can't listen to a whole episode of his podcast.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, it doesn't bother me, but Stevie Richards.
But to be fair, there are people out there who say my voice annoys them. So.
Oh, sure. Oh, Tom Gully told me I sound like Kermit the Frog, but fuck that guy. But so Stevie Richards. I mean, it's still like, why is a 60-something-year-old man holding a grudge against me for something that isn't even a big deal? Anyway, So
I mean, Matt, there's a 60-year-old crazed New Yorker that holds a grudge against you because you
no,
didn't help
there,
him attach a file to his email.
there's a 70-year-old, not to correct you. He's about 70. But
Oh,
anyway, so
okay.
Stevie Richards said on his show, and he didn't mention Brian Alvarez by name, but I felt like he was responding to what Brian Alvarez said, because he said he really liked the match and he put over CM Punk. He thought both Gunther and CM Punk were good, but he said, and this is why I think he might have been responding to Alvarez. He said, I heard someone complaining that CM Punk was all blown up and out of gas. Well, of course he was. Why wouldn't you be? You're in there with Gunther. Why is it wrong to be tired during a match? It's a wrestling match. It's an athletic activity.
Outdoors
Of course you're
in
going to
New
get
York
what?
in the summer.
Yeah, of course you're going to get
I
tired of,
I
but
mean,
like that's a natural thing to
you
happen
look
to an
at the
athlete during any kind of sporting event. Athletes get tired, why is that wrong? And so he seemed to really take issue with that. So I
yeah,
think he
well,
was responding to Alvarez.
look, Brian Alvarez, and we're guilty of this too. You're guilty of it. I'm guilty of it. Uncle Dave Meltzer is guilty of it. We're all expert swimmers, having never dived in the deep end of the pool.
Well, no,
And
that's not true about Alvarez. Alvarez has been in the ring. To be fair, I disagree with him, but he has been in the ring.
look, the physicality that those two put into that match,
Yeah,
you're gonna get blown up.
yeah,
And if CM Punk was so blown up and out of shape, he couldn't have lifted Gunther for 2 GTSs.
right. Good point. Yeah, yeah,
Um, he did.
yeah.
I'm sure Gunther helped,
Right. Of
but
course.
but come on.
Yeah.
No, that match was the match of the year. And I think they told a beautiful story in
Yep.
the ring. I loved how Gunther was this, and this isn't a knock on Gunther. I told my cousin Austin this.
Hmm.
I told my cousin Austin this, that because of how Gunther's booked, he's very limited as to what he can do in the ring. It's unfortunate,
Hmm.
but it's the facts. And CM Punk pulled a 5-star match out of this guy.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. And everything made perfect sense in that match.
Hmm.
And I especially love the table spot.
Hmm. Oh
The
yeah.
table spot was brilliant.
Yeah.
Like, because Gunther is off TV now because he has a legitimate nose injury.
Yeah.
Kudos to Punk, Gunther, and the producer of that match. I think it was Abyss
Oh
that
really? Yeah.
produced that match.
Okay.
Figuring out a way to do that, because that was brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah. Working that into the match, and yeah, the whole thing was just excellent. Excellent. And then we have the aftermath.
We all got worked.
Yep, yep. Seth Rollins' music hits. He comes out, and they worked us too, even within that moment, because he comes out on the crutches. And so for a moment it looked like he was just out there to remind Punk, hey, I've still got this briefcase.
I
You better
have
be
it
looking
for a
over your
year.
shoulder.
1 year.
Yep. And then he takes the brace off his knee and runs to the ring and cashes in and wins. So it was a big moment.
I liked how they did the cash in too. There
Yeah.
was a little nuance that I thought was beautiful. CM Punk trying to take him out with the belt
Mm-hmm.
and didn't have the strength to do it.
Yeah.
And then Seth, before he handed over the briefcase, beating the bejesus out of Punk with it.
Yeah. Yep.
Both of them did an amazing job.
I
with
think so
that.
too. I think so too.
And it hurt me to
Yeah,
see that happen.
Oh, me too, because we love CM Punk. Yeah.
I mean, because when you're a fan, you can't help but become emotionally invested.
Yeah, of course.
I have followed CM Punk since 2003 when his
Yeah.
feud with Raven was going on in Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
To me, this was a CM Punk moment up there with Money in the Bank in Chicago.
Yeah.
This was his moment. This superseded main eventing WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And you wanted that for him. And at the end, it made perfect sense to do what they did.
Right. The only misgiving I had about it was I do kind of wonder, although I trust where they're going with it because again, as you know, I've said many times, I think in terms of long-term storytelling, I think wrestling's better than it's ever been. And I think Triple H does an amazing job. But I just kind of wonder, was there maybe a little bit of a missed opportunity in terms of long-term storytelling with, they could have had Seth hold off. They could have had him come out and just kind of remind CM Punk and then, over however long a period of time, the story becomes, CM Punk is constantly having to look over his shoulder because his arch nemesis has that briefcase and he just
They
doesn't
could
know,
have
you know.
played it out,
Yeah.
but there's a key line Seth has continuously said in
Yeah.
interviews and promos and everything else.
Yeah.
CM Punk cannot be world champion under my watch.
Mm.
And that line echoed when he did that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that I don't have that misgiving because it made perfect sense
Yeah.
based on the character of both of them.
No, it did make sense. Yeah. That was my only thing that I was thought, I don't know, but no, I thought it was all very, very well done. Um, all right. Shall we move on to night two?
Of course.
So night two, which you did not like as much. So the opening match was Naomi defending the women's world title against Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. I expected this to be really good, and I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed it.
I think the match was decent. Um, I I noticed Io Sky was off that night,
You think so?
and she flubbed a few things.
Mm,
And talk about a bad night to be off, and it happens.
yeah,
It
'cause
happens,
she's incredible. I think
no
just generally,
matter oh,
she's incredible.
absolutely.
Yeah,
No matter what profession you're in, you're gonna have a bad shift.
yeah, yeah.
And hers just happened at SummerSlam. She slipped on the ropes a couple times.
I do remember her slipping. Yeah.
She botched a slam on, I think it was Rhea.
Mm,
She just dropped her, and I mean, again, tough spot.
yeah.
But I love the finish. I love how they're booking Naomi
I
as just
love Naomi as a heel.
this quintessential cowardly heel.
Yeah.
Th I think there is a degree of Rhea sickness that's going on within the people. I think they need to pull her back a little bit, get her out of the main event picture.
I think that's
Um,
kind of what they've done by leaving the title on Io a
but
bit too.
then you can't constantly have her in the main event. You
No,
gotta
I agree.
find
I agree. You don't
gotta
want her to
find
be overexposed.
yeah, you gotta find a way. You gotta find the mean, and it's hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there's a degree of it happening, or starting to happen. She's still over like Rover. I
Yeah.
think you could, you know, I she could challenge Becky for the Intercontinental.
Yeah. That
There's
would
a
be
lot of
interesting.
different ways they could go, but
Yeah.
I think she needs to step back from the main event picture.
I think that makes sense. Let's see. Next match was the TLC, the Wyatt Six defending Dexter Loomis and Joe Gacy defending against the Street Profits, DIY, the Motor City Machine Guns, Fraxium, and Andrade and Ray Phoenix.
I
Um,
There was a lot of cool spots.
yeah, like there
Um,
always are. Yeah,
I thought the Candice LeRae spot was amazing.
I did too. I like that. Yeah, I thought that was cool.
Um, were some spots that I was like, goodness gracious. There was a suplex where one of the Street Profits threw, I think it was Gacy, an overhead suplex, and he was meant to go through the ladder,
Mm,
but they overshot and his head cracked the side of the ladder.
yeah.
There was a spot where they did a tornado DDT and they missed the table and only hit the edge of it.
Yeah.
Um, those things happen when you have 12 people in a match like this.
Yeah. I'm always
Um,
relieved when we get to the end of it and no one's dead.
y- yeah, it's a tough spot. I thought it was overworked. I I I get the Wyatt Six winning.
Mhm.
I would have liked to see the Street Profits get the win. Um, that's just personal preference, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not a fan of more than 3 teams in a tag TLC. I think
Yeah.
you're just asking for a problem,
Yeah. I agree with you.
and they dodged a very huge bullet on
Yeah.
a few different occasions there.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Next one, we already kind of talked about this one, the US title match in the cage, Solo Sikoa versus Jacob Fatu. I mean, I think
Drizzling shits.
I wouldn't go that far, but I think Jacob Fatu. I'm a big fan of Jacob Fatu. Actually, I think he's
I'm a big fan of both of them,
yeah,
but I think, again, you're enclosing their shortcomings.
yeah. That's a good
It
way of
it
putting it.
If you can't work a standard match, I mean, and they can, but if you're limited, 2 guys that are limited because of how they're booked,
Yeah,
and then you enclose them in a cage, you're keeping them within the confines of the ring.
yeah,
It makes sense to do a cage match, but you could have done a Hell in a Cell match. You could have done a street fight. You could have done Falls Count Anywhere, just so they had more to work with.
yeah. No, I
Um,
agree. Yeah.
it just really didn't help either one of them. Although Jacob Fatu's moonsault after the match from the top of the cage was amazing.
Oh, sure, sure. Yeah. For me, it was just it was just kind of meh.
And
Um.
I noticed he almost climbed up to the wrong corner
Oh, really?
to do the moonsault. He took a few steps towards one side. The platform wasn't on that side. So he had to
Oh,
pivot and go to,
oh, I didn't even catch that.
yeah.
Um. So then we have the penultimate match. Dominic Mysterio defending the Intercontinental
The
title against
greatest
AJ Styles.
intercontinental champion ever.
I know I'm not saying anything that everyone else doesn't already say, but I gotta say it too. I love everything about Dominic Mysterio, and he's a heel, but he's like the most lovable heel ever. Everything about Dominic Mysterio is awesome. I can't think of
Even when he calls Rey
anything.
Mysterio his deadbeat dad.
Everything about the guy is amazing. Is amazing. Um,
Just amazing. And if you watched the post show, his interviews talking about his 20 years in the business.
I know. Oh, it's so good. Everything about him is good. He's like the polar opposite of Goldberg, right? Because Dominic Mysterio understands everything about
Yes.
wrestling. You know what I mean?
Every little thing he does in the ring makes sense. And you
Yes.
can't teach that. Every nuance, like even during doing the boot thing. And
Mhm.
then in the interview, talking crap to AJ during the interview. Backstage, he's like, nice boot mark on your face.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my goodness.
Oh, everything about Dominic Mysterio is incredible. And props to AJ Styles. Dude's closing in on 50 and he can still go out there and put on great matches. He's
You
incredible.
know, I hate saying it. I would love to see AJ get a run with the Intercontinental title.
Oh, sure. I no, that's
I think it would be great.
I do
And
too.
a lot of people are like, "Well, why do you take it from Dom?" And I think you're giving, in a way, you're giving AJ credit for what he's contributed to the business.
Yeah.
Because AJ Styles, as great as he is, he could have been so much better had he left TNA before he did.
Oh, I know. Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
13 years of his career in TNA. Jesus. Yeah.
yeah, like I remember seeing him. The great thing about AJ Styles is the same thing I've said about CM Punk. Whether it's in Madison Square Garden in New York City or a Masonic Temple in Davenport, Iowa, where I saw him wrestle CM Punk, you're going to get the best AJ Styles you can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I saw him work a match with Michael Shane in Hammond, Indiana for IWA Mid-South. And it was a better match than Michael Shane deserved.
Mm.
Yeah, AJ is amazing. Really is the
Absolutely.
phenomenal one.
Absolutely.
And yeah.
Yeah. Totally. And then we've got the big match, the main event. John Cena defending against Cody Rhodes. I thought talk about exceeding expectations. I thought this was excellent.
I love John Cena's entrance.
Yes, that was cool.
They did the black screen and you're like, he really got us again.
Yeah.
And then he came out to the bright colors and
really
time to go to work. And you're like, okay. And I loved Cody's entrance with the spliced together speech from Dusty.
Oh yeah, that was cool. That was very cool. Yeah.
And I think it was a great setup for the match we were going to get. Mm-hmm. John Cena, the valiant champion, versus Cody, the upstart second generation wrestler, looking to take the torch. And my favorite spot of the match is when they went under the stage.
Me too. Yeah.
And the elevator rises up and John Cena has Cody on his shoulder.
Yeah.
And you're like, pretty cool. Oh man.
That was pretty cool. Yeah. And Cena now I wasn't as surprised at how well Cena did because it was a long match too. It wasn't a quick match. I wasn't as surprised as some people were because a lot of people have been critical. Not only were some people critical of Cena's heel run, but also saying, he really can't do it in the ring anymore. I thought Cena's match against Randy Orton was very good. I thought his match against CM Punk was good, but I thought this was excellent.
This was his best match of his title run.
Yeah. Oh, by far.
And
by far.
if you want to show aspiring pro wrestlers how you can flip perception of a match, but 2 matches, same wrestlers, flip perception. Show them the WrestleMania 41 match between these two and this one.
Yep.
This one is up there in my match of the year.
Yeah, it was really
rankings.
Really good.
I thought it was very good.
Yep.
My misgivings on it, knock it down, because I think they really overworked their finishers.
Yeah.
And I hate when guys do that because your finish is your finish. You gotta protect your finish.
Right.
And that's a bit of my old schoolness coming out.
Yeah.
But I think that's a minor misgiving.
Oh yeah.
I think they did an excellent job. And and I love the fact that Cody allowed John Cena to have his moment in the ring, and then,
that was cool too. That was cool too.
And then it happened.
And then I thought I was having deja vu because in 2012, I think it was the Raw after WrestleMania in Brooklyn, New York. And I even went and found the clip on YouTube. John Cena's in the ring, and all of a sudden you hear and Brock Lesnar comes out.
Want to know the difference?
Well, aside from 13 years, what else?
People actually wanted Brock Lesnar then.
That crowd.
No one. that crowd was shocked.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Look, yes, it was a good pop. It was monumental,
Mhm.
but that was all shock and awe.
Yeah.
My cousin Austin said something so prophetic and just so nuanced, so short and nuanced, but true. Who wants to see Brock Lesnar on their TV in 2025?
I think a lot of people probably do. I don't. I'm good with
I don't. You
I'm
are still implicated in a sexual trafficking lawsuit. And look, I've given you my theory as
yeah.
to Brock's involvement on your show, Matt Connerton Unleashed. I
Yeah.
think he just got wrapped up in high school locker room banter with Vince McMahon.
Yeah, because
And
that was never fulfilled, right? The
no, it was not.
Vince trying
It was
to
not.
trying to pass Janelle Grant
He
onto Brock.
I think I'm trying to remember, and I could remember incorrectly, and I apologize if I do. I think Brock canceled.
Right. Brock didn't go through with hooking up with Janelle Grant. Now that he
Right.
was even considering it is, I mean, he's a married guy for one thing. For
I
another
mean,
thing,
look, I mean, he is married to a cheater. Um, a girl who cheated on one of the nicest guys in the business.
yeah.
And you know, uh, I mean, let's not pull the morality of marriage card in this marriage here. Um, yeah. Oh dear God.
Whoops, I muted my mic. It is worth though. I mean, you know, the details do matter. Brock is not in the he's mentioned in the lawsuit, but he's not accused of actually doing anything.
Right. And
That is an important detail.
And I think in a way, pardon the no pun intended here, given Vince McMahon's proclivities, you're shitting on all your women talent by bringing him back. If we're going to sit here and we're going to, rightfully so, take down Joey Ryan, take down Marty Scurll, why are we propping Brock Lesnar up? And let's be fair, Brock is accused of other things from other female talents.
Refresh my memory because I can't recall what he's accused of specifically.
Flashing Terry Runnels.
That sounds kind of familiar, but I don't think I know
she
that.
talked about it in the Plane Ride from Hell episode of The Dark Side of the Ring.
Oh, okay.
He's been Dawn Marie accused him of unwanted advances.
Okay.
You know, people still rail on Dave Bautista for his issues with Melina.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's Randy Orton still gets shit for his issues that he had. I think it was with Stacy Keibler. Of that nature.
Familiar. Yeah.
My problem with that is if you're going to judge all of these men, why aren't you judging this man?
Right.
What is the difference? And there are people on Twitter that sit here and I have seen them, members of the pro wrestling community, that attack our president, Donald Trump, for allegedly, and we got to use allegedly because we don't know, allegedly being on the Epstein list.
Right.
And yet they're celebrating Brock Lesnar returning. It oozes hypocrisy. To me. Mm-hmm. And if I'm wrong, please, by all means, come to me, message me, do whatever.
Right.
But you're a hypocrite because you are Just say you don't like this person, so it's okay for you to attack them. I don't think there's any reason for Brock Lesnar to be back.
Right.
I think it doesn't do business any good. I don't think it helps John Cena's retirement run. I think there is far better, more deserving talents John Cena can work with.
I absolutely agree there. Yeah, there's
I
younger talent he could give the rub to. Yeah.
um Logan Paul for
Mhm.
one
Yep.
would be amazing. If he wasn't injured, Gunther.
Yeah. Well, then I was surprised to learn Brock's been under contract this whole time, and he's been getting paid by WWE this whole time.
I would gander, and this is just speculation, that Brock does not have a downside guarantee. For those of you that don't know what a downside guarantee is what a wrestler, if you are injured or you are suspended with pay, you are guaranteed X amount of dollars. The lowest amount of money you can make.
Yeah.
That's your downside guarantee.
Yeah.
Brock not having one, you're like, oh, well, he doesn't get paid. No, it's the opposite. He gets paid his full contract.
Right. Right.
It was probably cheaper to just let him ride out the contract than to release him.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you release him, you run a very major risk of AEW signing him.
See, I didn't even think about that, but you're right. Yeah.
Does AEW have the money? Unknown. Would Tony Khan do it given the controversy?
He may not.
Probably not. But think about this. Warner Brother Discovery just upped AEW's media rights deal. There could be a lot of pressure from them if Brock Lesnar became available.
Mm-hmm.
And to pull the trigger on this.
Yeah.
And TV pressure, that's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's why they kept him under contract. Doesn't mean they have to use him and bring him back.
Right. Right.
I fully agree with my cousin Austin. I don't want to see Brock Lesnar on TV in 2025.
Yeah.
I do not care. It makes no sense to me. He's better off hunting in his wooded acreage in Canada, being there for his daughter, who's a phenomenal athlete at Colorado State University.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah. Did we miss anything? When was the for SummerSlam? When was the I feel like we missed something. Did we miss something when we were talking about the matches?
I think we covered all of them.
What about Bayley versus Lyra Valkyria? That was at SummerSlam, right?
No, Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking of. But we didn't. I'm sorry. Yeah, but we didn't talk about that for some reason. Was it?
Well, because we didn't. I didn't like the match.
How did I miss that? Somehow I missed that. I apologize. Now I'm going back through the list, making sure I didn't miss anything else here. How did I miss that? I did like the match.
No, it's the dumbest fucking stipulation in pro wrestling.
What? That if she loses, she can't challenge for the title again?
Dumbest stipulation. Because if she loses, you're writing her out of the title picture and you're setting it up for everyone to assume she's going to win.
I agree with you.
It is a stupid stipulation. It doesn't matter the people you have doing the match.
I agree with you, but I thought the match itself was really good.
I did not. I was not a fan of the match.
So
I expected better. I did like the Bayley run-in.
Yeah, I like that too.
and Bailey costing Lyra, because now you can have those two feud without the belt. Or you could do something very cool.
What?
I'm going to play armchair Booker here.
Yeah.
You have Bailey face Becky
Right.
for the Intercontinental title. You have Lyra cost Becky the match.
Yeah.
And
Makes sense.
Bailey wins the Intercontinental title. Lyra says, I did it so I can get my belt back.
Right. I like that. I like that.
And then you can have those three feud over this.
Yeah.
You can draw this out a bit longer.
Oh, yeah. No, I think it makes perfect sense. But I thought the match itself was really good. And this is something where, so, I was talking about Stevie Richards earlier, whom we've established you hate his voice.
Yes.
This is something where I agreed with him earlier on the Gunther CM Punk thing when he was disagreeing with Brian Alvarez, but I was surprised. So Stevie Richards was talking about this match, Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria, and he was shitting all over it. And I was really shocked at how hard he went. He apparently thinks Becky is terrible, and he thinks Lyra Valkyria is not ready for the main roster. And I'm like, I thought the match was really good. I think Lyra Valkyria is incredible. And I've always thought Becky was really good. But Stevie Richards was really down on both of them. And I was stunned.
I am not a Lyra fan.
No, really. Now that surprises me. I think
am
she's
not.
excellent. Really?
I am not a fan of hers.
Okay.
I can't put a finger on it.
Hmm.
I don't know what it is, but every time I hear her music and I'm just like, "Oh god."
No kidding. Huh.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I like her. The only thing I didn't like in that match was I didn't like the thing with the chair.
Yeah.
When Lyra had that chair wrapped around her, and that's so, I mean, obviously they know what they're doing and they practice this stuff, and a lot of what they do is very dangerous, but that was like, there's a lot that could go wrong here. Like I was scared.
That spot is so overused, and it's going to lead to someone getting very, very injured. It's like the spot where someone's face is on the seat of the chair and you hit the seat of the chair with with a very hard blunt object. Something's gonna happen where someone misses it. Oh wait, it did happen. Oh, Sami Callihan.
That's right, it did happen. Yeah.
Yeah, and of course it was Sami Shit Show Callihan.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was the one thing in the match that made me uncomfortable. I don't like to be uncomfortable when it's one thing to see these incredible spots where you go, holy shit, but I don't like that feeling of, oh, this is too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, but I thought overall, I thought the match was really good. I liked it. So I liked night 2 a lot more than you did.
I thought night 2 was kind of a blah. Not blah, meh. I really like night 1. I really like the stories they could tell with Seth as champion.
Yeah.
I really think they've set up Clash at Paris beautifully to have a fatal 4-way.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, Seth does not lose that match. I hope that they draw this out till Mania.
Yeah.
Have Punk beat Seth at Mania.
And
you have Roman Cody night 2.
I like that.
I've heard people say Roman Seth and Punk and Cody. My thing is, how do we get there? Because we sit here and we're like, oh, Eric, that's 8 months away. 8 months in storytelling isn't that long.
No, it's not.
How do we get Punk from focusing on his mortal enemy, Seth Rollins, who took away his moment, to switching to Cody Rhodes.
Mm-hmm.
And as a matter of fact, the no rematch clause would actually work in a story with Seth and Punk.
Mm.
You could do it so beautifully too. You could do it where Seth and Punk have this epic match at Survivor Series, and it's Punk/Chance, but Punk loses.
Mm-hmm.
Controversially, I might add.
Yeah.
And then you set it up where Punk has to find a way to get into the Royal Rumble. He gets in, but he has to enter number 1.
Mm. Yeah.
And he wins from the number 1 spot.
Mm.
And yeah, and then from Royal Rumble on, every curveball is thrown his way.
Yeah.
Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker jump him constantly. He like Seth is no way can Seth lose this match. And CM Punk in Vegas, conquering hero, gets his solo match main event and
Mm.
finally beats his arch nemesis.
I like it. I like it. But yeah, there's a lot of ways they can go. Well, all right. Well, that's it for so I guess that's it for SummerSlam, unless you had any other thoughts on it.
No, I think it was a decent show. I
Yeah.
think they really need to find a way to balance out these PLEs if they're
Yeah.
going to do them 2 nights.
Sure. Sure. And what do we have next week? Are we doing the AEW?
Yeah, we're doing AEW.
All right. All right. Good.
6 years.
Has it been 6 years? Wow. Damn. Damn. Well, we'll both have a lot to say about that.
Oh, I certainly will.
Yes, yes. All right. Well, very good. Well, I guess that'll kind of put the cap on this one, episode 13 in the books.
Yes. Yep, episode 13 still going strong.
Yes, yes. And thank you to everyone who watched Stream the Show live. And of course, the podcast edition of the show will be available on all your favorite podcasting platforms, wherever you like to stream the show, download the show, whatever. And Eric, what should people know about how to follow you online? I know you like getting comments on the Facebook, right?
Oh yes, I love getting comments. I would love getting direct messages.
Yeah.
Arguing with me. I would love that. Unlike
Good.
you, I love social media discourse.
Yeah.
I love trolling people.
Yeah.
I also like it when people disagree with me and I have to look at it and say, "You know what? You're right. I
Mm.
was wrong." Cuz then
Mm.
I learned something. You
Yeah.
learn more from being wrong than you do from being right.
Absolutely. 100%.
So yeah, you can find me on Facebook, Eric ERICH Pilcher. You can find me on Instagram, ERPilcher617, or on X, ERPilcher319.
Very good. And of course, I am Matt Connerton, and I'm very easy to find because Connerton is an unusual name. And or you can go to
Covington.
what's that?
Matt Covington.
Matt Covington, or Connington, or however else he says it. Yes. And of course, you can go to mattconnerton.com. You can also do that. But yeah, the guy from New York, he has all kinds of interesting ways to say my name.
Ratso Fatso.
Yeah, that's my favorite. Like, I'm not even fat, but he calls me Ratso Fatso. It's like, all right, dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm about 170 pounds. I don't
And
think I'm
I've really put thought into this, and I'm glad
Yeah.
we're bringing this up. How can I talk like I have a certain appendage in my mouth? If I had an appendage in my mouth, I wouldn't be able to talk. The
Right.
gag reflex alone would be. I really think I don't think
He has a lot of fantasies.
a lot of fantasies. I don't
Yeah.
think he's ever had that done to him.
Right.
Unless it was his boy, Big Kev.
Oh, Big Kev.
Maybe Big Kev did it for him, you know?
Maybe.
And it doesn't say a lot for you, Joe, if Big Kev could still talk while doing that for you.
That's right. Well, on that note, that's it. Episode 13 of Tough Bumps. Thank you, Eric. And thank all of you. And we'll talk to y'all next week. Bye, everybody.
Fuck Goldberg.